All right. Good morning. I
Hello,
think
hello.
does Jeremy get credit? I think for first in line.
Yes, yes. I think
Yes.
what he was on at almost half an hour ago,
Yeah.
just chillaxing in the weight room.
Yeah. It's interesting that you can do comments in the chat before we even start streaming. I wonder how early before. I mean, can you leave comments? Like, I guess maybe as soon as I
Probably
post,
as soon as you set up
or,
the sure.
the post that there's a upcoming show, which is a week in advance. So John is wearing his Southern Fried Game Room Expo. I take it that's from an earlier iteration.
Oh yeah, I think it's very from the very first one. Yeah, it just
Mm-hmm.
happened to be the T-shirt on top today, so
Mm-hmm. Do
that's
they
what you
call it
get.
that anymore? I know fried is a bad word now. They must call it something different.
It's now the
It's
Southern air baked,
air fried, at least.
air
Yeah.
fried. Yes,
Not sure
actually,
my.
it's in Atlanta in summer. Should be the Southern broiled podcast
Yeah,
because you
I
will
visited the
definitely
mothership
baste in your
there.
own juices in July in
Mhm.
Atlanta.
For sure. All right, we're making last minute preparations. We were just, I was looking at Dave's Vintage Apple Tech channel, and I thought, do we really know who this Dave guy is? We know he likes messing with old Macs and stuff, and we're going to mention later in the show his most recent video,
Yeah, because
which is
it's kind
something
of
you had heard about.
a I just learned about yesterday, and then yes,
Hmm. I guess he did too, but
he
he
did
jumped
a
on it.
video of it. Right.
Yeah, already. He's Johnny on the spot. So we'll have Dave guest on our show stop by in an upcoming episode. We've got a pretty full queue because we've got obviously we have today planned out. I think yes, we do. Got something for today, and then next week
Subtle
we'll be
hint
off
of what's
off
to
for
come.
Thanksgiving. Oh yeah, there's your hint. Well, anyway, let's so it'll be a few weeks anyway, Dave. I don't know. I don't know if we'll get caught up in the holidays or what. We'll see how it goes. All right, you ready, John?
I'm all set.
All right, in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John. This is episode 594 for November 21st, 2021. Good morning, John.
Good morning, James.
And good morning, everybody out there in YouTube land. And congrats to Jeremy from London for being first in line in the chat room. What
Trendsetter
does he
that he is.
win? Does he win something? I don't remember. Did we figure out the prizes for that? I think it's just bragging rights. Hopefully that's enough. Let's see. Today, did we I think we mentioned the possibility of this. We mentioned
Right.
in the news last week that ThrowBoy has a new Kickstarter. They like to use Kickstarter to launch new product lines. They did it for the Iconic Pillow Collection 1, and now they have the Iconic Pillow Collection 2, which obviously speaks to us. So I contacted ThrowBoy himself, Roberto Hoyos, and he granted us an interview.
Which
So
we
we did that
pre-recorded.
pre-recorded, yes, yesterday. And we'll play that here for everybody later on, right? Okay. Did you want to talk about? I know you were mentioning you've been messing around with image writers.
Oh yeah. So
Image
I
Writer 2,
Image Writer
right?
2, yes. The one Image Writer 2 I had was
Was it
very
a
very rusty, very
yeah?
rusty. And I did try to maybe some WD-40 and stuff in it. It was not
So
good.
like
Anyway,
in the
so
mechanical part, not just
the
the
mechanical part,
casing or anything, the
correct, right?
mechanisms for
Yeah.
moving the print head.
So I did go ahead and buy one off of eBay and got it all set up, got it tested, so it's running. So I'm very happy about that.
Hmm.
Because one of the things I do want to do is I play with. I used to have a Thunderscan for the Apple II, and that worked
Hmm.
great. But I do have the Thunderscan for the Macintosh as well, and it's going to be fun to try to kind of play with that. And also, I was looking at a couple of YouTube videos on re-inking
I was going to
the
ask you
image writer
about the
ribbons,
ribbons.
which I
So
mean you
what do
can
you have?
still get ribbons.
Yeah.
So I mean that's not a problem because this was a pretty standard ribbon design. But I saw a really great video where a couple of gentlemen tried several different things to re-ink a ribbon.
Uh-huh.
But what I think I'm going to go with is I'm going to get some of the ink for rubber stamps. Seems to me
Oh,
that would be the perfect kind of ink to use on these.
it says it seems to be. So you don't have any experience with that particular kind of ink?
No,
Oh,
so back in the day, back in the 90s, when I was stationed over in Germany, I was actually in charge of re-inking ribbons. I was given for for that station. There was actually a little hand cranked.
uh-huh.
You would put your ribbon. It was specifically designed to re-ink image writer ribbons, color and the black ones. So you had the ones with the four colors on them, and you had basically this contraption with your ink bottles at the top that would drip feed onto it, and then you'd hand crank the bottom to advance the ribbon.
Oh,
So
you need one of those machines.
well, it
Hmm.
would be kind of cool. I was wondering if anyone actually had maybe even done one 3D printed. Because I doubt you're going to be able to find one nowadays. But
Uh-huh.
these guys just basically did it by hand. Because you can probably attach the little advance for the ribbon to something,
Yeah,
so to make it easier to move it
right.
forward and then drop a
Hmm.
ink every couple of inches on the ribbon.
So
So
did
yeah.
so you haven't do you have a ribbon right now that at least you were able to test it?
Oh yeah. I've got
Oh,
several
okay.
ribbons. Right.
Do
Hmm.
you remember the key sequence for doing the self-test on an image writer that you so you didn't have to hook it up to a computer?
No, no, and I didn't look it up. I just hooked
Yeah,
it up
there's a
to
I think if you like hold the sheet feed button or something when you turn it
when
on,
you
it'll
turn
do
it
a
on. Yeah,
self-test.
that
Something
sounds
like that.
right. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe we should get on with it. Let's take a quick break and we'll be back with eBay finds. All
I
right.
see. Right, Sublet in the chat. Him and my friend Mike Bretsky were over yesterday, and we got to play some Marathon 2. It was a good, fun afternoon.
That reminds me back when I was in college, I was looking for a place to live and I found some place, but it just wasn't the right sublet.
Oh,
I'm sure he's I'm
I'm
sure
I'm
he's
sure
heard
he's
variations on
I am
that.
sure he's never heard.
Uh, all right. Oh, I lost John. Okay. You ready to go?
I'm all set. Yeah.
Okay. Let's go on 3, 2, 1. All right. It's time for eBay finds. We had that Power Macintosh 4400 slash 200. Trying to remember, was there a slash something else? Did they make a 180? Why does 180 seem, or was it just the 200? Oh, somebody looked that one up. What did that sell for? Well, after 6 bids, it sold for $83. And then you watching the chat, John? See if somebody can answer our question real quickly.
Okay.
Um, then there was Through the Looking Glass, kind of a gently used. I don't know. It's got some wear on it, right? The game that Apple published back in the early days of the Mac. After 18 bids, lots of bids, got up to just $305. $305. Okay,
Not bad. Not bad.
not bad for the condition it's in. And then, not bad. Was that not bad for the buyer or not bad for the seller? What were
But
you
I would say
thinking?
both. I would say both.
Okay. Oh, they both
I
win.
would say that's a pretty fair price for that.
That's a good
Yeah,
sale then. All right,
I
they
think
both
so.
win. And the pamphlet, the booklet, I showed it in the video last week, but it's the 1998, the year of thinking different. This one's still available. Buy it now, $100, or you can make an offer. All right, let's skip ahead to this week. Now, everybody knows I like to collect 6-color Apple logo stuff. But what logo do I like even more than that? Is the Picasso
Yes,
logo,
the Picasso.
right, which has the 6 colors, but in the shape of the original Macintosh. So iconic, only used at the very beginning of the Macintosh. Sort of, I guess. How far did it go? It didn't go to the Plus, right? They used that logo into the 512K days.
Well, didn't the
Did the Plus
accessory
box?
kit with the Plus?
No?
I don't know.
It just said Macintosh Plus on it.
Okay.
So yeah, they didn't use it very long. Wouldn't it be cool to see a rebirth of that style in something modern, or at least something to call back
A
to
nod.
that era? But I don't
Yeah.
have this. I don't have this. I've seen these before, but and this one's in good shape. This is the this is a book cover. It says Vintage Apple Computer Picasso textbook cover, pristine, and it just says authentic from 1992. No tears, pinholes, fading, yellow stains, wrinkle folds, scuff marks, etc. Light to medium weight paper stock. 21.5 inches by 13 inches, rolled in a poster tube. So you could frame this thing, and it looks great because it was designed, obviously, for back when we used to have to wrap textbooks and cover them up.
Yeah.
But it would do so that on the front it would have the Picasso Mac logo, on the back the 6-color Apple logo, and it says the power to be your best, which is interesting to me because how I just said. What did I just say? That they only use that Picasso logo like into the mid 80s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yet this has a 1992 copyright and the power to be your best, which was obviously that was early 90s. So how did this come back? Right? Do you ever remember seeing the Picasso Mac come back in any kind of form?
No.
Into the 90s? No.
Right.
So it's odd, isn't it? Interesting.
It's neat.
And then even on the spine, yeah,
right.
Even on the what's it? I think it's on the spine. It's got a 6-color Apple logo. So yeah, this is sort of weird to me. I don't know what to make of this. I guess it was legit. Maybe it was something that wasn't widely distributed. I don't know, it was an experiment. Who knows? But I'm going to pass on it just because I don't know. I don't need everything. Do I? All right, I'll buy it. No, okay. So it's from Portland, Maine. They want $30 for it. There is no buy now. This one ends in 4 days. Okay. Now what?
All right. Next up, this is kind of funny that you picked this as one of the auctions, and I'll go into that in a moment. This is for a Macintosh IIfx with a high-res video card, and of course it needs batteries. That's it. Needs PRAM batteries. So they mention our tech looked at this. It says it needs new PRAM batteries. Though we are not able to get it to boot, it likely works fine once the batteries are installed, though not 100% sure. I can pretty much guarantee this probably doesn't work because this had a lot of caps on the logic board and the power supply. So here's my story of IIfx. I used to have a IIfx board. This is back when I first started kind of collecting things, and I got it from as part of my initial stuff of collection. And so I had this board stored on its side, and this is where people are going to wince when they hear this, with the PRAM battery still installed in it. So at this point, everyone's knowing what's happened, and that is that while it was stored on its side, the PRAM batteries oozed and left a trail of destruction down the entire logic board. All right, so fast forward to yesterday. I mentioned my friend Mike Bretsky. He brought over a couple of computers. He brought me over a couple of 2CIs to play with, and I bought a 2FX from him that he had in storage. And of course, the first thing we did is pop the caddy that held the drives off so we could get to the PRM batteries. Fortunately, the PRM batteries that were in there had not exploded. Yay. So we did put 2 new PRM batteries in and try to boot it. And unfortunately, it cycles on and off. And we're guessing it's probably caps in the power supply or caps on the logic board, because there are a lot. So anyway, good luck to whoever does get this, and hope it does start for them. Right now it has 2 bids at $202. And this has 1 day, 7 hours to go.
Now I'm looking at the condition of this, and it looks like ultra clean.
Yeah,
Of course,
absolutely.
You don't know if you applied power, and this all of a sudden poof, and things could
Right,
go awry.
right.
But I mean, you don't see any noticeable damage, leakage, or otherwise. Just looking at these photos, and the other thing that's cool, talk about condition, is look at the feet that are intact too. Just everything about this is clean. So what do they want? Well, the current
202?
bid, yeah,
Right.
202. Okay, and
Has
all
1
right,
day,
well,
7 hours to go. Yeah.
perfect. Okay, and we'll finish with this one. Any guesses to what those things are? The title is Unique Macintosh Balloon from Apple Computer, Never Inflated.
Wow, what the?
And that can hold true of the price too, because it's only starting bid of 99 cents. The description says just unique Macintosh balloon from Apple Computer, never inflated. And is this for one?
That's,
One, two,
I was
three,
just
four,
wondering
five.
that. It doesn't say how many are available. So are you bidding? Is it right now
I
a
think you're
bid of
getting all
99
5.
cents for all 5 of them? With the Macintosh SE, a very nice line drawing of the Macintosh SE on them.
Yeah.
Huh.
It looks like the image from the box.
So were
kind
these
of.
from like the launch, perhaps? So these
Let
are
me see if I see
Mylar
their-
balloons too, so you don't have to worry about them disintegrating like a rubber balloon. And of course, the image is the size it's going to be. You don't have to worry about trying to stretch it so you
Yeah.
can see the image.
I think you get all of them. I mean, because the pictures show
Wow.
kind of all of them. Really interesting. Yeah, so there's just a kind of white on the front and the Mylar silver on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Again, just a front-on shot of an SE bezel with nothing in the screen. So yeah, just all black and white. It's kind of an interesting thing. I wonder if these are saved from like a launch event way back when. So again, that's 99 cents is the starting bid, shipped from Roanoke, Virginia, and this ends in 2 days.
I'm just checking their store to see if they're selling anything else Apple related. Looks like it's mostly stereo. Oh, here's an interesting one. He's got they've got another auction. Oh my goodness. It's for one of the balloons, couple of keychains, and a couple of pins and some of the Apple stickers. And who knows educators? We do. $10, guys. Buy it now. Excuse me. Buy it now. Yeah. I'm going to mute my microphone and cough a little bit. Excuse me.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for filling in. That was very helpful of you.
I lost your audio for a second, so I had to improvise. Okay. Let's see. Moving on. Do I even intro this segment? I don't even know how do I do this.
Either way, I think we kind
I think it
of
stands alone.
right.
I'll
Yeah,
intro
'cause
the
we
intro.
kind of mentioned
Maybe.
it at the.
All right. We'll intro the intro. Okay, let's go in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Now we pre-recorded a video interview with Roberto from ThrowBoy, and so we're going to play that video. Of course, If you're listening to the audio podcast, it's all pre-recorded, so none of this makes any sense. And I probably shouldn't even introduced it, but I've done it. I've gone ahead and done it. So you're getting an introduction to the introduction. And for those at home in the live audience, here we go. We're just going to play it, and John and I are going to sit back and maybe have a drink or something. Well, I don't know how we've not had this discussion in the past, because it turns out that ThrowBoy, the history almost overlaps our podcast history. Mm-hmm. And the things that they do speak to us as Apple fans. and why we have never reached out to Roberto before is a mystery, because I went back and I searched on ThrowBoy through all our 500 some episodes, and I can't tell you how many times ThrowBoy showed up as a keyword, because every time you had, especially Apple related product launches, we were talking about it, and obviously we were buying them. And when you go back to the beginning, so welcome, Roberto. Finally,
thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. I love the backgrounds right now, so I will contribute to them as we go on. But thank you so much. And when you reached out, I was like, oh yeah, why haven't we talked before? Because we definitely, it sparked my memory. I'm like, whoa, we do go really far back. Early Web 2.0 days, right?
2006. You started. Well, you didn't start ThrowBoy, right? You started. There was no intent, I think, at the time. You were just making GIFs at the time, right? So how did that begin?
Yeah, back in late 2007, or maybe 2006, sometime period between then. Mm-hmm. I had hand sewed some pillows similar to the ones right behind you, actually. But they were a little bit more crude, because I was just sort of doing it for a gift for a girl that I was dating at the time, who was also a big Apple nerd. And I kind of had a sewing background a little. My grandma taught me to sew when I was really young. And she was a seamstress. She worked for REI. She was one of the first employees at REI.
Is that her sewing machine?
This is the sewing machine, yeah. And this is also was handed down to me when I started ThrowBoy. And she was kind of my consultant for everything that went into working on ThrowBoy and making it into a business. But to answer your question, I just sort of made these pillows and gave them to her, and she worked at this tech blog, and then tech company, and they blogged about it. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden it just blew up, and it crashed my website. And I'm like, okay. I didn't think that it would be, I wasn't even thinking about it as a business. And then a friend of mine who was more entrepreneurial that I was working with, he was like, this is a good business idea. You should sell these. And this is before Etsy, before any, it being easy to sell online, e-commerce wise. And so it took a year of development. I had to pull my friends that knew how to write code and write websites, and how do we implement a store and all this stuff. And then, but I'm like, no, I think this is a cool idea. No one's really done this, cater to a nerdy audience, but also just how many different things can you make a pillow? How many things can you pillowize, so to speak,
right.
Mm-hmm. And so I got excited about that idea, and I'm like, oh, I think we can do something cool. And
so did you have a day job or something that now you were having to divert attention to this new thing?
I worked at the Apple store back then.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So it all comes around, right? I think I was probably just, I was very influenced by Apple marketing, and I wanted to go into marketing, but I was also very hands-on and creative since forever. So those two things sort of blended together, and I'm like, you know what, this might be a good avenue to express that and be able to be creative and also do marketing stuff, and all of that kind of grew from this idea that sort of the internet liked. So I was like, I'm going to try it. And when I decided to do it, when I was all ready to go, when the website went live, Mac Rumors picked it up out of the blue again, and it had been a year. And I'm like, okay, this is a sign. Let's just do it. Let's launch it now. I think the website was sort of ready. I was like, let's launch it right now. And we launched it, and all it was get to gather emails. And so people were just giving us their email signups, and that was enough. and I'm like, all right, I'm quitting Apple. And I quit Apple, and I've never done anything but ThrowBoy since then.
Oh wow. Wow.
Yeah.
So ThrowBoy is obviously the name. Were there other names that you had thought about doing, or was that pretty much?
There was a lot. We had like one, my friend's like, just call it Icon Pillow Company. Just do like something really simple. And then I thought of like, okay, I don't want it to be like fun, squishy pillow. You know, I didn't want it to be like too what do you call it, pigeon holding? Because I was like, well, what if I wanted to wear it on a shirt, or what if I wanted ThrowBoy, you know, t-shirts or ThrowBoy blankets? And now we are doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, but I was like, we can't be too, you know, small. But then I was like, when I said a ThrowBoy pillow, I was like, oh, that sounds cool. It's like a better throw pillow. It's like how Jelly Bellies is a better jelly bean, you know? And I'm like, okay, branding wise, like I like that, you know? So I was like, all right, we're going to do ThrowBoy. It's also sort of there's a lot of suffixes that end in boy in brands. So I kind of piggybacked on that. I was like
Game Boy,
and like Lazy Boy, you know, that kind of thing. So I was like, okay, maybe it sort of sounds like it's already been in the zeitgeist. So I'm going to like use that, you know? And then people started just referring to our pillows as, oh, I have a ThrowBoy. Oh, I have a couple ThrowBoys. And I was like, okay, there we go.
There you go.
You know, you've arrived.
Nice. Very great.
Yeah, I didn't know if somebody called you a ThrowBoy at some point.
Yeah.
Like you are the ThrowBoy, you know.
Yeah, it kind of worked out like, oh, okay, I guess I could be that too.
Awesome. Well, yeah, so we followed, you know, all the various product launches throughout the whole history. But there's a question I have, and you know, it goes back to these original Icon.
Yeah.
And there had to have been the reason why was there a point where you ran afoul of Apple and they weren't appreciative of you honoring their
all
icons?
of these?
Yeah. Did that ever was that ever a problem?
Yeah, you know, that's the question. That's like my number one question since the very beginning.
Yeah.
Everyone's asked me that, but no, like I haven't been, you know, taken down, you know, like some other, you know, you hear about that stuff, right? But I honestly think it's like, I think people get a little too close to their branding sometimes, you know, and they don't have any artistic, like, you know, where they change something a little bit. And because there's plenty of products out there, especially now with the internet, with e-commerce, there's tons of people that are like, oh, I made a little pencil sharpener that kind of looks like a Macintosh or something like that, you know, things like that. And so I think I was just one of the early people to do it, and I just didn't get too close to the sun, so to speak, you know. And then I think now I get orders from Apple, like the company, a lot, and I know people in the company that will be like, I'm on X team and we're thinking about buying a certain amount for our next party. Are you going to have them? And stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm sort of like, they know who I am. They're not dumb, you know, their social media team and everything. They know what's going on. So
have you ever been asked to do anything? Have you ever been asked to do a custom pillow for anything like that?
Not for them, but I've done custom for years for companies.
Nice.
We've done some for Microsoft, funnily enough, for who else? Mozilla, Pinterest. A lot of tech companies reach out and they want their custom logos.
Cool. That is great.
Yeah.
I guess the ultimate full circle is if one day you could walk into that nice store they have there at the new mothership.
Right.
ThrowBoy pillows there at the
it'd be wonderful. Yeah.
Well, maybe that'll happen one day because they are, you know, there has been a turnaround in the last, I don't know how many years where they have done a lot of nods to the past, things that they sell, you know, their own branded stuff, right? With the old logo and references to old products. So it wouldn't be a stretch to get a call one day to say, hey, we'd love to sell these things in our store.
It would be so cool. And it's like, like you said, it's a new Apple, right? Like under Steve Jobs, this was probably not what they wanted their brand to look like, especially when it was sort of in the resurgence stage, you know?
Yeah, they're trying to reinvent themselves.
They're trying to reinvent themselves. And now, I mean, you saw the last keynote where they had that scene in the garage and they have all the old products in there. And like, it's really like warms the old nerd's heart when you're like, oh, cool. Like, you know, they care about where they came from, you know? Mm-hmm. And I like that kind of, I think that culture, that subculture, the Apple subculture, I really like that I'm contributing to it, and we're giving something you can't really get in other places. Sure. So that's like, if I can serve that and I try as best I can, then, you know, I like to.
Well, and the best way you did that was with that first iconic pillow collection, and let me show that up on the screen there in case people aren't familiar. So this was your first Kickstarter, is that right?
It was actually my third Kickstarter.
Oh, okay. So some of the others were offered that way. Okay.
Yeah.
And this one, I think I read, and which, by the way, you have a wonderful. It makes sense having somebody that's appreciative of the history, that they have a great account of their own history on your website.
Thanks.
The chronology of everything, but you can go. Yeah, if you want to see the whole evolution of ThrowBoy, go to Roberto's website at throwboy.com and you can see all that. But so this one came out, and I think it was pretty successful, right? I mean, you hit your initial numbers very fast. I think it said 2 hours or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But this is a tribute, obviously, to the most significant Apple products of all time, right? I mean, I think people, it would be hard to argue that these aren't the 5 products that defined Apple throughout its history. Mm-hmm. And these are still, so I have to admit that I missed out on this Kickstarter, and I've gone back and not all of them are available at this moment. Is that just because they're in production? There were a couple of them that were available, but not all 5.
Yeah, they're going to get replenished. It was we just sort of ran out because the pandemic has made it harder to reorder things. Honestly, that's a lot of it. But no, they're not going anywhere. They're people love them, and I love them, and I will let you know. We have a few in the back that if you still want one. So,
well, I gotta build up my collection, and I did order a few more. The ones that John has behind him, I have a couple of those on order. I was hoping to have them in my background in time for this, but they arrive on Mondays.
I mean, your background's amazing. You have 2 ICEOs and original iconic collection, the Mac 11, I think is what we called the Valentine's Day.
Oh, the red one? Nice.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Mac
That's
11.
so cool.
And yes, we should mention, you were talking about other things that ThrowBoy got into. You know, you have the towels and other apparel now, but
blankets and stuff. Yeah.
You did have a doll.
Yeah.
Was that which is, can you see him there? There's one sitting there on the Mac, and then
I get questions about that every single week. People are like, when are you going to bring back the ICEO? Can I get an ICEO anywhere? Do you have any more ICEOs? And I'm like, no, we did the ICEO. We're gonna not do it. I don't think we're gonna do it anymore. I mean, it's tempting, but it was like really honestly like a tribute that I had wanted to do even before he passed. I was like, if we could do something cool in that vein, in the art form that I call ThrowBoy, I want to do it, you know?
Now here's a very important question for our even older Apple fans. Any chance of a Woz?
Oh, maybe, you know, Woz actually bought one of these guys, the 1977 pillow.
Oh,
there you go. Right.
And that blew my mind when I saw that in our orders. I was like, no way. So I wrote him a note and stuff, and I was like, I'm done. That's it. Woz bought this. Yeah.
Somewhere. Maybe
my work here is done.
Yeah. You need a picture of him taking a little nap.
Right?
On the soft keyboard.
Yeah. I might reach out. You know, he's a nice guy. I might be like, hey, we want to do a tribute to you. Is that cool?
Yeah.
So
that would be great.
Maybe have something go to charity or something, you know,
sure.
whatever he's into. Yeah.
And here's another product suggestion for you.
Mhm.
And it comes to mind because there was just recently another high profile auction of the Apple One.
Oh yeah.
But this one in Koa case. And so an Apple One in a Koa case would be pretty awesome.
You know, for your listeners, I have tinkered around with an Apple One style inspired pillow, but it was just the board, you know, and I wasn't sure if that.
Killer.
You think that would be better? I mean, you
No,
guys
I
would
mean
know.
it's hard to
would
do.
love that.
You can't. It's got no volume, right? So how do you really?
It ended up being sort of like thick, like
I mean, icons don't have volumes, but that
like-
just makes a good flat pillow.
Yeah, exactly. And it had all the little circuits and everything.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
So I might mess around with that next time. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that would be more recognizable, and yeah, make that work. I'd get that too. Well, let me show you everybody what's you're working on right now. And so this is the live Kickstarter here, and it's the iconic pillow collection number 2 with arguably the next 5 most significant Apple computer, or at least most iconic. I guess it's in the word iconic, right? So these are very recognizable because they're not just the pizza boxes or whatever. I mean, you can immediately identify these as Apple computers.
Yeah.
So how is this Kickstarter going right now?
It's good. Yeah, it's going great. We got funded in the first hour and change, which is amazing. I mean, I guess just being that we've been around a long time, I make sure that to prep the audience beforehand and make them, aware that this is going to launch at this time. And then after that, it's just kind of like up to what people want, right? So it's going well. There's, as of today, November 19th, there are 8 more days left, I think, in the Kickstarter. Some special prices on all of these right now. And I'm thinking about adding a couple new little surprises before it ends. So, but yeah, these 5, like you said, I mean, they are very recognizable designs. They're more so the hardest designs that I've ever tried to do. And you can kind of see why. Like I have one right here.
Wait,
this is
let me
the
get you on full screen here.
Sure. This is the 1999 pillow, as it's called, and so.
Oh, look at that! It even articulates a little bit.
That's
right?
great.
Yeah, that's.
So yeah, you got like all the details on the sides, like the ports, the keyboard, the trackpad, and
it's nearly actual size.
It actually is. Yeah, it's kind of fun. I like this one in terms of it's kind of more I don't know, you can tinker with it in a way, but yeah. So there's quite a few in here that were more like, dang, okay, how am I gonna do that? But I really wanted to push it and make stuff that had been kind of on my mind for a long time. Like, how can we make a pillow that looks like that? And but I think they came out really great. I mean, there's this one too. Like, oops, upside down. This one.
So is that a G5 or is that an Intel or what is it?
I consider it the inspired by the original, like the before it went to Intel. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's only got one optical slot on the front, not 2.
Right.
Oh yeah, so it's got to be a G5. There you go.
And then so and then the little details, like there's pillow logos everywhere,
Right.
And then let's see what else. I have this one, the 1983 pillow. Oops, I'm getting off camera. There we go.
Let me get everybody there. Zoom in on you there. But yeah.
So you got all the vents and everything.
Right. And it's the Lisa one because it's got the 5.25 inch.
Yeah. A lot of this is just a lot of research, because I don't have access to a lot of these. I have an original Mac now, but it's actually just the shell. I found it at a computer recycling place. So when I had to do these, I was like looking at photos just in hard detail, and then where can I omit things that might be a little too involved, and just to get the spirit of it, and have all the little detail, because I really love detail when we do these products, you know. So
Uh-huh.
so yeah, again, the iconic pillow collection 2 out now, and it will be officially in our normal shop next year. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So that certainly there is an advantage to jumping in early. You'll be first to receive
Mm-hmm.
the pillows. Well, you know, I look at this lineup and I can just looking at the computers behind me, I can think of all the other ones I would love to see pillowized or whatever the word
Yeah.
is. You know, a G3 tower, G4 tower, a Mac portable maybe.
Oh yeah.
How about a Next Cube? I mean, there's a
Oh
lot
man.
of just even the G3 all-in-one Molar Mac. You know,
Somebody reached out. I should do a poll with you guys or something. What should ThrowBoy do next? You know,
yeah.
because somebody from somebody that worked at Next reached out to me once and was like, I worked on the cube and I would love to see a cube. I was like, are you kidding me? Like somebody from Next. I'm like a huge nerd about Next. So any information that I learn about it, I'm like fascinated. But that happened after that. The previous Kickstarter, the Iconic Pillow Collection 1, I think sparked a lot of people going,
Sure.
You know, I want that because I was in college and I got my first iPod. Or I remember when I went, you know, and this is the computer I had at home or whatever. And I'm like, oh, this is really neat. I want to keep working on this. You know, I want to keep doing this.
Well, that's exciting. Well, hey, thanks again for joining us. I'm sorry it's taken this long, almost like 15 years before we actually connected. But
no, thank you.
We will be here to continue to promote your products, and we'll,
I appreciate
whatever you got coming down the line. We'll make sure we connect again. So everybody go to ThrowBoy.com. That's, I think, from there you can get links to the Kickstarter for the latest pillows coming out. And certainly check out all the other stuff going on out there because, you know, the towels. I got a towel on order of the Mac OS colorful towel. So that's.
Oh yeah.
By the time we do I was going to have it here in my studio, but anyway, it's arriving soon. It'll be here in the background eventually.
The throw blanket, you mean?
Yeah,
right?
The throw blanket. That's right.
Yeah.
Which actually, it didn't even occur to me that. The word fits for blankets too.
Yeah, I kind of want to do beach towels though. So yeah, that's definitely been on my mind, or even bathroom type stuff. So yeah,
cool bathrobes.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, well,
thank you again.
Thank you. All right, wow, that's the way we should do it. The show we should pre-record it and just sit here and watch it.
I got a game of Crystal Quest in while we were listening to that. So, you know.
Oh, you're serious?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was.
Cool. I'm checking out. You got your aquarium running on your iBook back there. Is that which screensaver is that?
That is, what was it called?
I think I had it installed at one point.
Marine Aquarium is what it's called. Yeah, and I like the juxtaposition of that running on this, and then the
sure,
you know, After Dark fishies running on the Mac Plus there.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was
all things DG Spectre, fantastic game. Yes,
that was a lot of fun talking to Roberto.
Absolutely.
You know, why we never did that is, you know, still confounds me, but. Make sure we stay connected to what he's doing from now on. We didn't talk much about it in the interview, pricing and all that. So yeah, there are 6 days to go. Okay. And you can purchase the pillows individually, which they're $39. And I'm not sure if that includes shipping or not. Oh, yes, I think it does. Estimated delivery is May 2022. 2 or more are 78, 3 for 117, 4 for 156, or all 5 for 195. And it looks like you could even, based on the wording, if you chose all 5, you could actually choose any 5, so you could get duplicates.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, there were some early birds; those are no longer available. So, yeah, I think I'm certainly gonna go in. I'm gonna get my set. So, Anybody else, if you got a favorite or if you want the whole set, now's the time to do it. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait probably well into next year. Okay, well, we'll be right back with news. All right. Let's see. I think I heard those sirens going off.
Yeah.
Did I send you anything?
I didn't see.
I don't know.
Anything for
it's
the
nothing
news.
special.
That's
You'll
okay.
see when I show up on that.
Oh wait, no, I see it now. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was hoping they weren't coming to your house. All right, let's not do that one. Let's do this one. Okay, you ready? In
Yep,
3,
all set.
2, 1. All right. Well, Apple announces self-service repair. Isn't this something? Apple has not really embraced the sort of the home repair kind of. I don't know. This is kind of it's sort of in closed boxes, right? That you weren't even supposed to get into. They went so far as to make special wrenches and things just to keep you out of there. And you could either violate your warranty, sometimes there are stickers and other things you'd have to get through if you want to do your own work, or you take it to an authorized place to do it. Well, I guess with the blowback of I don't know, I guess there's been this kind of growing dissent about electronics and them being sort of almost disposable in a way. The idea that you can keep them working by replacing parts by yourself. So they got this program. We'll see how this rolls out. They're going to start with the iPhone 12 and iPhone 13 and roll it out to the M1 Max. Of course, it worries me that they're, even with their new computers, they're already instituting a way to repair them that doesn't bode well for. It's almost like they're predicting that you're going to need to do that, but hopefully that's not the case. So, what do you think about this, John?
All right. So here's, I think it's one of those things that I think most people still probably won't try to repair their own stuff, but for those few percent that do like to tinker and do want to, I think it's great. And I never understood the reason behind, because really, I mean, even from the beginning, if they had just always allowed this, it's not like it would be like really digging into their income to repair versus replace, because they're going to sell authorized parts. And really, there's only a small percentage of people out there who are going to take advantage of this.
Yeah. And the people that are going to take advantage of it were probably going out doing things to themselves.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Yeah. There's a reason that websites like iFixit exist, and all the wonderful YouTube peeps out there that have great tutorials on getting, tearing down and replacing bits.
I wonder how many pages of the document you're going to have to sign before they hand over the parts to you. Because, I mean, these are more than ever, right? Very sensitive electronics, very small parts.
Right. Yeah. So much glue.
Right. Well, okay. And let's see. Wanted to mention this from our friend Dave from Dave's Vintage Apple Tech. So we exchanged emails earlier in the show, and Dave's going to join us in a few weeks, hopefully. We'll make that work. But he's got a video out. And you saw this, John, the Sorbet
Literally
Leopard.
Yesterday, I found out about Sorbet Leopard. Yes. Which is available on Macintosh Garden, if anyone wants to check it out. Hello, Fog Wraith out there. Yeah.
And so somebody has modded.
Yeah,
Leopard?
they've optimized Leopard to run fast. There's quite a handful of improvements. If you go over to Macintosh Garden, I'll see if I can find the link while we're talking.
Now, this is at the source code level. Did Apple release Leopard to allow this to happen? How does,
that might be it
that's a
might be great
question
to
for
try to
Dave.
get the people on who
Yeah.
did this to actually talk about it, because I don't know if they just managed to go in and remove extra code, but some of the other, hang on, I'm going to try to find it.
Well,
Yeah,
I
here we
bet all the
go. Sorbet
answers,
Leopard.
are in Dave's video, but he
Yes,
gets it
good
running
point.
on a G5 PowerPC iMac, so you can check it out for there. And I guess that's about it, right? I didn't have any other news to talk about, so we'll be right back. What, you got something?
No. I was just
So
posting
you're gonna say
the
something.
link.
Okay, all right, yeah, Macintosh Garden. Okay. Oh, I was going to show some stuff here in the.
Oh yeah, and Todd
Yeah.
Holcomb reminded me. So the Macintosh gaming book. Let me go grab it.
Mm-hmm.
There is an update out, an updated version out. So maybe something we want to talk about in a future episode, but we're talking about this book right here, which is Deanne Gorse's book. We had the author on. Anyway, there's an update to this out now. So
Also in hardcover.
I would guess. I'm not sure.
And where do we find that on the usual places?
Yeah, I'll look on Amazon right away.
E. Dalton, or go to your local
Walden Books. Remember Walden Books? Is that still around? I miss
Borders?
Walden Books.
Is there still Borders?
I don't think there is a Borders anymore.
Yeah, that's too bad. All right, you ready to?
Yeah.
Close
all
out. Okay, let's go in 3, 2, 1. Okay, well, our thanks to Roberto from ThrowBoy for joining us. Please go to Kickstarter.com or ThrowBoy.com to find your way to the iconic pillow collection #2 and get one or more. And I mean, the auction's already successful, so they're going to happen. It's just a question of whether or not you are one of the lucky ones in the first shipment that happens later in 2022. Next week, finally did it. Connected with Miss Myra Berg, the creative force behind the Apple logo rug kit, and
the latch hook,
wall hanging, the latch hook kit. Yes, and so she and I sat down and chatted earlier this week. I've got that, so we'll play that next week. That was a lot of fun. Did I say next week? Next week is Thanksgiving.
I think we're actually going to skip a week, right?
We're going to skip a week. We're going to let everybody off to focus on what's important other than RetroMac stuff. And so the week after that, we'll have the interview with Myra. So, all right. Well, until next week, remember, it's not old.
It's retro.
Of course, I said that. I said till next week. Everybody knows it's the week after next. Don't show up next week, everybody. Don't show up. But here's Wright sent me a couple of these pictures. So
from yesterday.
Yeah. Are these staged?
Another.
What?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Another what?
Another great thing that Wright shared with me yesterday is another really fun YouTube channel. It's called It's My Natural Color. It's a gentleman from England who has a really great, he did a great titanium unboxing. He's got a very mellow vibe. It's like if Bob Ross was into Macintoshes and talked about them. So it's just another great. I'll put the link in there to check out. There's so many great YouTube channels.
I'm looking at this picture here. It's a great picture because it shows us a different angle of Mac Attic. This is
what I see when I'm doing the podcast, right? Because this is
And I didn't remember above your desk. You've got the open enclosure of a classic Mac. Oh,
in big
Yeah.
and me.
Right.
There we go.
With Steve there sitting in there, so he's sitting next to the. Is he pointing to his son's his signature?
No.
Where is the signature? Can you point it out real quick? Where does he sign it? Can you even?
Actually, he might be
Oh,
blocking
I'm
it.
I'm nauseated now. So.
Oh, okay,
I should
sorry.
stop that. No.
But yeah, this is my wall
Yeah.
that I look at. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. And you guys are taking a look at the Mac
The
2FX
2FX there. Mm-hmm.
and then the next picture. Now, this just shows you how big the cases are because you've got
Right. Yes.
4 grown men's hands somehow
Yes.
wedged. Did you stage this? Was this really necessary? Did it require 4 hands to do whatever you were doing right there?
Yes, it did. I cannot remember at what. I think at this point, I forget what we were trying to do. But yes, it took 4 of us to get in there to do whatever we were doing.
Yeah.
I think it
Looks
may
like
have been
you're
trying to.
Interesting.
I really can't remember what we were working on at that point.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
It was a
But it was
special
not
moment.
staged.
Anyway, it
Right.
was great that Wright captured that special moment you two guys shared. And on the back wall, which is awesome, I didn't know you had printed out one of these. You had colorized
right,
the
right,
original
right.
Apple
Yeah.
logo.
There we go.
We're going to
I've
look
got-
at it live now. Let's see. Hold on.
I've got this. I'll find the link for it and put it on there next time. I've got the file up on DeviantArt where I
Yes,
colorized.
that is glorious. I'm going to have to get mine to print one for myself. Yeah, and I think didn't you make that? You made that available to someone on their T-shirt shop, right? That
Yeah, I think Javier.
okay,
I can't remember what his T-shirt site is right now, but Javier Rivera, he of retro writing fame, has got a great T-shirt shop,
yeah.
and yes, that is available on there if you want it as a T-shirt.
All right. Well, I think that's a wrap. An extra long episode. Extra long? Oh no, I guess we're pretty much on time. I thought it seemed like we were running long. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Happy Thanksgiving to you all. And don't forget the ThrowBoy Kickstarter.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see you then.
Oh, hey, yeah,
what?
just really quick. Yeah, Scarlett, yes, the roof is shaped like the ceiling. It's kind of a barn-shaped structure. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And yeah, Klaus, I think you'll enjoy the interview with Myra. She's a lot of fun. So, all right, that'll be next time in 2 weeks. See everybody. Thanks for coming.
Bye.
Bye.